I interviewed her on the street only for a couple of minutes, and now I cannot stop thinking about her. She drives me completely crazy, and hopefully I'll be able to find her. That's the topic of today's video, and loads more. Welcome to Sam's Russian Adventures. Of course, my name is Sam. I'm an English guy living in provincial Russia in the city of Vladimir. I actually live on the outskirts of the city in this house just behind me. And I've lived here for so long that life in Russia is just completely normal. Almost half of my life I have actually lived in Russia. Now, the topic of today's video is about when I go out and do street interviews. And a lot of people, they watch my channel and think, Sam's out on the pull, right? He's chatting up these birds in his video. It couldn't be further from the truth. I think of YouTube as a job. That's essentially what I do. And so therefore, I go out filming and speaking to local people, which is one of the things I love to do with YouTube. But it's just a job. And while I'm in work mode, I'm not thinking about trying to chat up the girl that I'm interviewing. In fact, I speak more to women than to men, simply because my audience is mainly men. And so I think you guys probably want to see me interact more with beautiful Russian women than you do Russian men. Makes sense. And so when I approach some random woman in the street and ask her some random question, which is the topic of whatever that day's video is, I'm not trying to pull her at all. I'm in complete work mode, and I'll ask her a question, she'll answer me, and I won't even be looking at how she looks, what she's like, is she nice, is she not. Now, sometimes obviously you notice, but most of the time I'm just in complete work mode, like a robot. And because of that, it's not until I get home and I start editing, and that could be like a month later, and I think, wow, that person was really nice, really amazing. I should have spoken to her more, she's really cool. But by that time, it's too late. I didn't get any personal details. I didn't find out even what her name is, where she lives. I know nothing about her apart from the little bit of information that I found out on the video. And as you know with my videos, right on cue, the dog's barking. So now that I've walked past the dog, what I'm going to do just for a second is just change the subject matter. We'll come back to it again. But I just want to tell you that I have been creating so much content. I haven't uploaded a lot, simply because I've had a problem with my computer that I've talked about in my other videos, and I've talked about in my Telegram group. I got the computer now, I've got a new computer, I've got the monitor, I've got everything, but there was a problem that I didn't get the adapter that I needed to connect the two, and so we're still waiting. But I have got so many projects on the way. Guys, you're going to be overwhelmed with my projects, overwhelmed. I've been filming, I've been taking YouTube very professionally in the last few months. I have filmed crazy amounts of content. I've got I've got loads of new projects on the go, some that you're going to be very excited about. I filmed like just absolutely incredible amount of content, and these projects, well, one of them I can tell you is about countryside living, and others, now my close friends, the other YouTubers that I speak to, know about my projects coming up, and it's going to be really exciting. So over this next month or so, you're going to be completely overwhelmed with the amount of content that you're going to have to consume, or not have to consume, but hopefully you're going to want to consume. Anyway, back to the topic of the video. And so I get home and I edit these videos, and I see the woman in the video, and I think, wow, she's so beautiful, she is so sweet, and maybe she was even being really nice to me in the video, and I was just in work mode that I'm just thinking about what's the next question I'm going to ask her. Sometimes I don't even really listen to the answers because I'm just, right, what's next? You know, I'm not really paying attention. I'm just trying to create. I'm not in the moment. And so, or maybe I'm too much caught in the moment that I don't see the whole picture, but I get home and I'm editing, I'm like, wow, this woman was really, really nice and really, really kind and exactly my type and all of these things. I'm like, oh man, what do I do now? So, you know, just like any guy will get on Instagram and try and find mutual friends or stuff like that and, you know, hunt for her and stuff. And then, so many times this has happened where I've just met and I realised that I've met the perfect woman for me, obviously, within a 5-minute meeting that I think would be a potentially good relationship. And then I'm kind of stuck thinking, well, how do I find her? And there's been a couple of people that I've met that I have no idea who they are. I mean, they could be married with kids, I've got no idea, but they're just really, really cool. Perhaps, I'm just going to think, I was going to say I should upload the clips to this video so that you can see who I'm talking about, but I've got a problem with my computer. That's why I'm filming this video right now, because it's just an easy walk around the block video, minimum editing, because the problem I have with the computer is as soon as if you guys know about technical stuff, as soon as I upload content onto the computer, my computer suddenly thinks that I've got loads of content on there. So I can upload like 2 gig worth of content, and then for some reason the computer thinks, all right, he's uploaded 50 gig. And then within 5 minutes it says, sorry, your memory is full. I'm like, well, I've only put 2 gig on there. How's that happened? And then I'll delete the 2 gig worth of content. It'll say 50 gig free available. I'm like, well, how does this happen? So that's the problem I've got. So that's why I'm getting a new computer. It's just old. It's over 15 years old. In fact, it's like 18 years old or something like that. So it's just had it's given up on me. It's given up on me, and therefore that's why I'm not uploading. I'm making this really quick, so it's going to be the most simple video to edit, hopefully, because I know a lot of YouTubers do this. I'm jealous of those guys. I speak to a few YouTubers like Joseph Rose. So Joseph Rose does loads of editing. He spends hours and hours and hours editing, and we're talking and we're like, oh, I'm so jealous of those other YouTubers. I'm trying to get away from the sun. So jealous of those other YouTubers who record on the phone, edit on the phone, and then upload immediately from the phone. That is so good. We want to get to the stage where we're one of them, but unfortunately, I'm not good at that. I have to do the whole, hours of editing, and that's why my computer is basically essentially dead. So back to the topic before this topic, I'm really excited as to what's coming your way. I've had interesting time filming over this last few months. I can't speak. Filming over. What am I saying, Sam? Filming during these last few months. I've had massive arguments with security guards filming one project, massive arguments with people, with security guards, with locals as I go about trying to film one project. I've had crazy fun in the countryside filming the second project. I've tried to use what it is that I have that other content creators can't do. Obviously the use of Russian language in my videos, which is always one that I try and interact with the Russian people. So I've got these projects coming your way, and you're going to be overwhelmed with the amount of projects, but hopefully it's going to be completely different content, completely different, and something that is individual to me, and perhaps other people will try and do it. If you're successful, people will copy it. That's how it works. That's how YouTube works. That's how anything works really in life. First person that built the car, someone else like, oh, I'm going to build a car and call it not car but something else. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how it works with anything. Once you do something that's successful, if it is successful, then it'll be copied. But I've really, really enjoyed doing it. I actually went to one place, and I'll tell you this crazy story. So I went to a market while I was going to film one video in a market, right? So I go into the market and I get stopped by the security guard, and he says to me, excuse me, it's forbidden here to film. And I'm like, right, I mean, it's a market, isn't it? So it's not forbidden to film. In fact, I'm actually protected by the law of my right to film in the market if I want to. And he said, nah, you just don't know the law. The law forbids filming in markets. I'm like, well, that's a complete lie. So we went back and forth with that. And obviously I know the laws because I'm a YouTuber. I need to know them because these things happen all the time. And they said, right, well, you're gonna have to take you through to the administration, to the people in charge of this place. I was like, all right, fine, no problem, let's go. So we go through there and the lady that's like in charge of it, she says to me, what's the deal? I said, well, I was filming. She said, well, it's completely illegal. I'm like, right, but I mean, it's not though, is it? All right, I mean, it's not illegal. It's actually, in fact, illegal for you to tell me not to film because it's a market. So it's a public place that's open to the public with no membership or anything like that. And it's selling items, which therefore gives me the ability to film in this public place by the Russian law. And she was like, right, well, no, and you see, it's privately owned, so we have the right to do what we want. And I'm like, well, that's not true. You can't break the law because you own the place. That's like saying you could kill someone here, and when the police turn up and say, well, you killed someone, it's against the law, you'll say, no, it's privately owned, so we can do what we want, right? And obviously she was really angry when I gave that example. I was like, but that is the truth. The law says you're allowed to film in public places, especially in places where the buying and selling of goods is happening, right? It's for your consumer rights and protection that you're allowed to film. Ой, здравствуйте.
Вы из России?
Нет, я из Англии. Из Англии.
Снимаете стрим?
Да, не лайвстрим, а просто так видео снимаю. Как вас зовут?
Семен.
Семен, мне Сэм. Очень приятно. Похоже у нас имя, да?
Да.
А вы здесь живете, да?
Да, мы из этого района.
Я тоже вот здесь, рядом, вот на следующей улице, вот здесь.
Я английский знаю.
Английский?
Да. Ну, я учу, я в 5 классе. Ухожу в школу дополнительно.
Cool. And let's speak something in English. It's your brother or your friend?
Yes, Tom. It's my friend.
What's your name?
Joel.
Joel, no?
George, Юра.
Oh, George. George, you. Okay. Cool. Well, nice to meet you. Okay, I'm going to carry on filming. Let's. Okay. Nice to meet you. Давай. So, давай, до свидания. So there you go. A couple of local kids came to say hello to me. Yeah. So where was I? With the story, right? So yeah. So basically. It's really frustrating because they make up these rules. They say that because it's privately owned, we're allowed to do what we want, which is not true. Just because something is privately owned doesn't mean you get to make up laws which go against other laws, right? If there's a law giving the person the right to do something provided by the law, you can't make up your own laws that go against those laws. You can't make up your own rules if they go against the Constitution. So anyway, they said, right, we're going to contact the person in charge. So I'm like, right, okay. So they contact the person in charge and say, right, this place is actually classed as top secret, so filming is forbidden inside. I'm like, right, so you're telling me you've got a market in a top secret location? Like, yeah, unfortunately it's classed as top secret, so therefore filming is forbidden so we bypass the laws because it's top secret location. I'm like, right, so you've got a public market in a top secret location that's open to the public for anyone to come in without any checks, and it's a top secret location. They're like, yeah, that's it. I was like, that's ridiculous. And they're like, well, you know, we're owned by this company. I'm like, it doesn't matter who you're owned by, right? You got a public market here, right? And so we went back and forth with all of this stuff, and this is something I get on a daily basis, right? Just this mad conversations with people, like crazy things. And so, you know, I said to them, right, well, that's fine. Just put it in writing then, that the reason you're refusing me to film here is because it's a top secret location. They were like, obviously, we're not going to do that. I was like, why? Because it's a lie, right? So you can't put it in writing because it's a lie. They're like, take it either way. You have to leave here. And that was it. And I was like, wow, you know, but that's some of the crazy stuff you go through to get the content that you need to get here, right? And, you know, fair enough, you know, I understand. People don't want you to film in their place. I get that. But this is a public market, right? Anyone can walk around with their phone out, filming whatever they want. And I've actually been there before, like half a year ago, and filmed there, right? So bad mood. These people didn't want to allow me to film, but it was a crazy, crazy day, crazy story. It really was. And I was just like, right, I mean, I said to them, right, give me, in every business, there should be it's called something like a corner of something, where you go and you get all the information of the company and the evacuation plan and all this stuff. And I said, where's that? They're like, we're not showing you, leave. And that was it. And there you go. That's just one crazy story from my new projects that I've got coming up. Hopefully, maybe I'll make a video with one of the girls that I really, really would like to meet again. And hopefully, if I make a video with her, once my computer gets to the stage where I can easily edit, and then I will upload that, and maybe someone will know somebody who can help me to find her, and we can have a reunion, and I'll probably find out she's married with 10 kids. So anyway, that's the end of today's quick video, my little walk around the block. I really wanted to get some content out there. It was almost like a kind of live stream content today, wasn't it? Me just walking around, but I really wanted to show that I'm still alive, tell you what's going on, share with you the whole deal with the you know, meeting people on the street and not caring until afterwards and then realizing it's too late, which is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, because I get so many comments saying, Sam, you're just chatting up that bird, you know, blah, 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 stop chatting up birds, this is cringeworthy. And I'm like, I'm not chatting up birds, man. This is a YouTube video. If I wanted to chat up the bird, I wouldn't take the camera out, I'd just go and speak to them, right? So yeah, I think it's generally the people that write that kind of message, those kind of messages, are people that are too scared to chat to birds, and they hate others who approach women, right? They hate it. Like, is this cringeworthy? I'm like, right, well, cringeworthy because you're too scared to do what you want to do. You want to hate me. Anyway, that's another topic for another day, another video. So anyway, subscribe to this channel if you enjoy my content. Video is a bit weird today, bit different, bit easy, not much going on. I won't even be able to translate the subtitles of the conversation I had with that lad, simply because by the time I go to translation, my computer will crash and I won't be able to upload the video. So subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts about what I talked about today, and I'll see you in the near distant future. Is that what I'm trying to say? By Saturday, I'll have the cable that I need to connect my computer to start editing and uploading the content. See you soon.